All right, y'all, somebody seriously go check on Solange Knowles, because I can only imagine she might be flipping a table right now. If you haven't heard the latest buzz, Solange's son, Julez Smith, is reportedly dating Tommie Lee. And yes, people started talking after the two were spotted out together on what looked like a date just yesterday. The situation really caught attention when 41-year-old Tommie Lee shared a post of 21-year-old Julez on her Snapchat, which instantly sent social media into detective mode.
Type of shit you do when you like somebody.
It's my baby. You're so fine.
It's hard to be fine.
Hmm?
I said it's hard to be fine when you got somebody on your back.
Still fine.
Come on.
You struggling, babe? I told you.
Damn.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, better than that. Man, there's a lot.
And now we gotta go get this nigga out of jail.
Hey, come on.
It's been a crazy weekend.
Oh, baby, I don't know what you come together.
I'm in. Man. I'm game. We're gonna see you in a minute. Free Gracie. We be back in the morning. Oh, we're gonna go to Publix to get a chicken tender sandwich. Damn.
Now mind you, Tommie Lee is 41, and honestly, some people online are saying she might even be a little older than that. Meanwhile, Solange Knowles is 39. So yes, that means Julez Smith is reportedly dating someone who is technically older than his own mother. And let's be real for a second. Tommie, I can't imagine you're exactly getting a warm welcome into that family. Because from the outside looking in, the situation has a lot of people raising their eyebrows. I'm not saying Julez isn't a good-looking young man. He absolutely is. But the age gap here is about 20 years. So naturally, people are wondering what the real motivation behind this relationship might be. Is it clout, attention, or maybe the financial angle that comes with dating someone connected to a high-profile family? Either way, the internet definitely has opinions about it. But go ahead and tell me what you think about this whole situation down in the comments. Alright, moving on to the next story, because this one is getting messy too. We're now getting more details about why Mama Tina's gumbo stand ended up getting shut down at the rodeo. At first, organizers for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo tried to frame the situation as a simple clerical issue to protect Tina Knowles, but the Houston Health Department quickly clarified that the closure was actually triggered by a serious customer complaint. According to reports, a woman claimed she got food poisoning after eating Mama Tina's gumbo. She reportedly experienced severe symptoms, including chills and even vomiting blood. Obviously, that's extremely alarming. And now we're learning more about what inspectors discovered that may have contributed to that situation. Local outlet KPRC2 reported that health inspectors found thawed seafood and food stored inside non-food-grade orange buckets during their investigation. The report stated that after the customer filed the complaint and described her symptoms, inspectors uncovered several violations that ultimately led to the temporary shutdown of the gumbo stand at the rodeo. Now let's talk about why those buckets are actually a big deal. Some people might look at that and think it's just a bucket, but the reality is there are two types of those orange 5-gallon buckets, and they look almost identical. One version is food grade, which is specifically designed for storing food safely. The other version is industrial plastic that is not meant to come into contact with food at all. That means chemicals from the plastic can potentially seep into whatever food is stored inside. And when you're dealing with seafood, especially things like shrimp and crab, that's already one of the most delicate and fast-spoiling foods you can work with. Even under perfect conditions, seafood requires strict handling and temperature control. So if chemicals from non-food grade plastic are leaking into that food, the risk becomes even higher. According to the report, inspectors also found that there were no temperature logs documenting how the gumbo was being cooled or stored. In other words, there was no paper trail showing how long the food sat at certain temperatures. On top of that, seafood labeled "keep frozen," including shrimp and crab, was no longer frozen when inspectors arrived. So it wasn't just one problem, it was multiple issues happening at the same time. You had improper containers, questionable temperature control, and missing documentation about how the food was handled. When those factors combine, it creates a perfect storm that can easily lead to foodborne illness, which may explain why that customer reportedly became so sick. If you're not fully caught up on the backstory, you can check out the earlier video where the original complaint that triggered the health inspection was discussed in detail. But the situation didn't stop there. Investigators also discovered another issue involving where the gumbo was actually being prepared. The plan was for the gumbo to be cooked at a nearby restaurant location that had already been approved by the health department. However, inspectors later learned the gumbo wasn't being made at that approved location at all. Instead, it was reportedly being prepared somewhere else entirely, at a site the health department didn't even know about. After the shutdown, the team changed their entire process. They replaced the refrigerator trailer with a freezer trailer and began preparing the gumbo fresh on site every morning instead of making it elsewhere beforehand. And honestly, I have to say this part openly. I don't have anything personal against Tina Knowles, but it is disappointing if the food safety standards weren't taken seriously enough. Seafood is not something you can handle casually, because mistakes can literally make people extremely sick or worse. Whether the issue came from staff or management, the reality is that her name is attached to the brand, so she's the one who will ultimately be held responsible. At this point, it's also fair to question whether Mama Tina's gumbo will even return to the rodeo next year. Unfortunately, once a food brand gets associated with a food poisoning scare, it can be very hard to rebuild trust with the public. A lot of people may now hesitate to try it because they're worried about getting sick. But I want to hear what you think about this whole situation. Do you believe this was just a mistake by staff, or do you think more accountability is needed for how the food was handled? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.
I'm scrolling down my social media and I'm seeing a video of Tommie Lee and Julez, Solange's son, together. Same Tommie Lee who's been there 50 years old, who has a child, a daughter who's about the same age as Julez. Everyone is so plotted out, and the bitches are trying to secure a rich man so bad that they'll go after a 20-year-old. It's the same thing with the men with these streamers. Everyone is trying to show off so bad that they're over here flying out 20-year-olds. This is what people were talking about when they said there's a propaganda, there's an agenda that they're trying to make us be okay with. There's pimp culture, there's escort culture. That when we see videos of Tommie Lee, again, who's damn near 50, and Julez, who's 20 years old, together, we're laughing, we think it's entertainment. This is the grooming and manipulation that people were talking about.
Excuse me, but where is Julez' daddy at? Where's Solange at? I mean, I know that man is, I know he's 21, 22. He's the same age as my youngest sister, right? Regardless of everything else that has been going on, bump that shit. I mean, that's important too, but bump that shit. Well, I'm seeing videos of him and Tommie Lee from Love and Hip Hop, who's older than his mother. Solange is my age. Tommie Lee is older than me. Talk about something, my baby. They kissing and all this stuff. How the fuck did they pass cross? This nigga tarnishing the brand. This nigga is tarnishing the brand, bitch. How did that happen? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, the kids be growing up with silver spoons in their mouths and they be want to be ghetto so bad. They want to be hood and down with the clique so bad. Bitch, we done seen this story already with King Harris. Now we about to see it with Solange's son. Damn, bitch. Mind y'all, Solange cool with JT, which I'm not even And maybe that's where it is, because she cool with JT and Chief Keef. But that's on the difference. She ain't fucking them. These motherfuckers is actually doing something. What the fuck is Tommie Lee doing? She's a fucking bird, bitch. She's an old, druggy bird. Like, I don't, wow. He want to be his own person so bad. I mean, I guess. Baby, don't catch nothing. That's all I'm going to say. Don't catch nothing and don't let that bitch try to trap you, because she still could possibly be fertile, okay? Don't. And Daniel Smith Sr., get your son, okay? Where you at? I know you working over there in Rock Nation and all that shit. Put the rock down and come over here and talk to your son. Sit that motherfucker down a little bit, you know. Woo, where Mama Tina at? Because he listens to her. Mama Tina, get you on the line right about now, because I don't understand what's going on. When we living in the fucking Twilight Zone, bitch. Tommie Lee of all people. I'm okay with birds, but that bird, that is one unstable nest, okay? Get that bitch up out of here.